He's also telling me the dog is there with him as well.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Your father's a hot shit. He goes to me, Matt, I came back and get the dog. He says, because no one wanted to take care of it, he said to me.
Oh, that's so true. Oh my gosh.
First of all, when I'm connecting with your father, he shows me that this illness affected all his body here in the physical world. He says, and Matt, he says, at the end, it also started to affect my memory here in this world, he tells me. Because he just said to me, please tell my daughter, I can remember. I have not forgotten about anything, he says to me. I need her to know that. He actually tells me when I'm connecting with him this. He says, Matt, can you please tell my daughter? Oh, and this is interesting, hold on. When I'm connecting with him, was there a few years that you were separated from him? Or there was a separation between you and your dad?
Yes, he moved. We were in South Florida, and he moved to North Florida.
And you didn't see him for a couple years, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Because he keeps saying to me, Matt, it was during this time, I wish that I would have gone and been closer to my daughter.
Yeah.
He says, and you hold on to that every single day. Because he tells me by the time that you found out that he was sick, it's like it was too late and you were rushing to get back those moments that you lost with him. Your father says to me this, he says, Matt, if I would have known that I was sick, I wouldn't have moved out there. He says, I still thought I had years, Matt, he tells me. That's what he tells me. He says, because I was feeling good in my body. He says, but this hit me all at once, and he's bringing that through. What I have to tell you is this. Your dad tells me that you need to stop holding on to all of that guilt and all of those things that you go back and think about. He says, what I want my daughter to know is that the moment that you found out that he was sick and you rushed to be there for him, he tells me it's like all that time that he was gone just picked right back up. And he's bringing that through. He says, I will never forget what you did for me. He says, I won't forget. He says, the love that we had, the conversations that we had, and I want to let you know that I can remember everything. Don't think that I forgot. Don't think I forgot. He keeps saying this to me. And it's actually funny because at the end, he says to me, Matt, I don't know what happened to me. He goes, I was good looking and then I turned into an old man, he says to me.
Oh, yes. He was so handsome.
But wait a minute. Why were there issues with his teeth here in this world? He tells me there were teeth issues at the end?
Yeah, they were falling out and stuff.
Hello, that would be teeth issues. So no, he's bringing this through because he says to me, Matt, he goes, let her know. He goes, I don't know what happens, but he just showed me like all these issues with his teeth and they're being rotten there. And he says to me, let her know, I got my teeth back. And not only that, but he shows me he's all dressed up on the other side. He says, and Matt, I can't believe I was like this before I died. Before your dad passed, it's like he was a little kid. He tells me like he didn't want to get dressed up at the ends. He tells me like he didn't want to do anything before he died. He says, and that was so not me, Matt. He says that what I want my daughter to know is this. From the other side, what's so beautiful, he says, is that I was put back together. And he tells me that you will always be his little girl. He says, so Matt, if there's one thing you can tell my daughter, please tell her, don't hold on to those final moments because you witnessed so much. He shows me him not being able to breathe at the end when I'm connecting with him. And I keep feeling, it's almost like your dad drowns because I feel all this fluid right in through here when I'm connecting with him. He says, Matt, if you can let her know that on the other side, I can breathe okay. I am fine, and my soul is also there. He's also telling me the dog is there with him as well.
Oh, my gosh.
So you just lost the dog?
Oh, no. No, his dog died 6 months after he did. And my son, when he was little, when he was 3, woke up one night and said he went and was playing with his papa and Freckles, which is the dog, in heaven. He was telling me about it, and I was like, how does he know? But now my dog, oh my gosh, Freckles was his dog.
So all of a sudden, your son, who was just a little boy, told you that he saw your dad and they were playing with the dog in heaven.
They were playing ball together, the 3 of them, the dog and Papa and him were playing ball.
That's the same way that your dad's coming through to me right now. He just said to me, you know what, your father's a hot shit. He goes to me, Matt, I came back and get the dog. He says, because no one wanted to take care of it, he said to me.
Oh, that's so true. Oh, my gosh.
That dog is on the other side with me. So know that it's so funny how sometimes it takes a medium reading to put the dots together. So all these years, you're like, that's so weird that my son's telling me that he's with my father and he's with the dog. And now, all of a sudden, here I am telling you the same thing. It's your dad's validating to you that, listen, sometimes we don't sense and feel our loved ones, but it does not mean that they're not there and with us. So know that when your dad died and then your son was just little and said, oh, I see grandpa and he's with the dog and he's telling you all these things.
Yes.
It's his way of validating to you that he came back to visit your son.
Yes,
And he's also here right now letting you know that he is at peace. That dog is with him and he's put back to the way that he was before that he was sick.